Hi there, I'm Jess Dang, the Chief Kitchen Cheerleader at Cook Smarts, and you're watching another episode of Dear Cook Smarts, where we answer your cooking questions so that you can live happier in the kitchen. Today, we're covering a question that lots of concerned parents ask. How do I raise healthy eaters? There is no straightforward answer, and unfortunately, raising healthy eaters can be especially challenging when you're up against picky eating. I wish I could offer you some silver bullet or some cure-all that you can use with your kids that would make this problem disappear overnight. Unfortunately, I just don't have those powers. I really wish I did because I've witnessed the pain and struggles of so many parents around this issue. What I will be offering in this video is a tool and some tips to help you manage your kids out of their picky eating phase. For some, this will be a relatively short process. For others, it might take a bit longer. You can do everything right and create an environment to promote healthy eating, but some kids just naturally fall at the extreme ends of the food preferences spectrum. My parents, for example, had two kids who fell into opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm sure you can guess that I was at the gluttonous, eat everything that I was offered and then ask for seconds end. My younger brother, on the other hand, was the no to anything that wasn't a hunk of meat or from McDonald's. I remember my mom battling and negotiating with him every night to eat his vegetables. We were both raised in the same household, offered the same things, but as every parent with more than one child knows, each child is naturally wired a certain way. But just because a child is naturally a little bit more selective doesn't mean that they can't become less selective over time with the right efforts and mindset from you. I knew it was tough for my mom managing my brother's pickiness, but he's now 28, happily eats everything, and is one of my favorite dining partners. So for those parents feeling hopeless, there is hope, I promise. So today, we're sharing our 3 main tips for helping a child through the picky eating phase so that they can become healthy eaters and you can manage your sanity. So tip number 1, persistently introduce and expose your kids to the foods you know are healthy for them, even when you're faced with no's and reactions of that's yucky. Come on, let's face it, it's not just kids that don't like new things. We adults often don't like when we're forced to try new things either. It's uncomfortable, but we all know the more we try that new thing, the less scary and foreign it seems. And that's when we can actually make an informed decision about whether we like it or not. The same philosophy goes for kids and new foods. Don't give up if your kid doesn't love his or her first encounter with broccoli. Studies show that it can take a child anywhere between 7 to 20 exposures to a certain ingredient before she starts to feel familiar with that food. And that's a lot. And I know that sounds also like a lot of work for you, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming or stressful. You just have to take it a few ingredients at a time, and I built something to help you out with this process. All right, because I'm a nerd and I love charts and tools, I created this food preferences chart that you can use to track your child's progress. Every time they are exposed to a vegetable on this list, they get to put a sticker in the box. If they didn't like it, they can put a red sticker. If they liked it so-so, they get to put a yellow sticker. And if they loved it, they get to put a green sticker. You can really use any color code you want, but that's just a simple one I like because we all understand traffic lights. So now the goal, of course, is for all of these vegetables to become mostly green, and each dot helps you track the number of times they've been exposed to that vegetable. Plus what kid doesn't love stickers? These are easy to find at any office store, and it makes dinner interactive, and kids really feel like their input is valued, and with this tool, it's also captured and noted. You can print one off for each child and keep this on the fridge or in a binder in the kitchen. And if you need ideas on how to cook some of these veggies, don't forget that we recently did a health series where we put together a lot of helpful information like 100 plus ways to enjoy your veggies. And you can find this in the resources section on our website. You can also order it now as a print or poster for your kitchen. And this graphic basically thought of every possible fruit and vegetable that you might want to cook with and came up with some of the simplest ways to prepare them. In addition, we have tons of free recipes right on our website that have good ideas on how to cook more with vegetables. Just visit cooksmarts.com/recipes. Alternatively, you can actually use this chart to manage the food preferences of your entire family as well. And if you want to do it that way, you just put everyone's names up on top, and every person gets to put a sticker in the box for the vegetable based on how much they like that particular ingredient. And this will help you look for recipes and find meals that hopefully the entire family can be ecstatic about. So this chart is available for download for all of our subscribers. If you aren't one, go to cooksmarts.com/food chart and get on the list, and we'll send you the link to download the chart. All right, So now into tip number 2, which is taken from good old Mary Poppins, who had the wisdom to understand that a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Now, I'm not saying that we should coat everything in sugar because a diet filled with a lot of sugar is not that good for us. However, kids have not only more taste buds, but a more acute sense of taste than we do. So if something is sweet or salty or sour, they taste it as way more sweet, salty, or sour than we do. And unfortunately, a lot of vegetables just have a bit of bitterness to them, which means your kids may be tasting a more pronounced sense of bitterness than we would. And human evolution has just trained us to avoid bitter things because back in caveman days, it might mean that something was poisonous. And we all know that vegetables are the opposite of poisonous and probably some of the best preventive medicine we could all use. So as Mary Poppins recommended, toss your roasted vegetables with just a sprinkle of brown sugar or a drizzle of maple syrup. Other things that might work are a vinaigrette, some yogurt or butter, a little lemon juice, a tomato sauce, or even ketchup. These will help make vegetables much more palatable and familiar to your child's taste buds, which will make trying new things a lot less scary. My last tip, tip number 3, on how you can manage your child through their picky eating phase and keep your sanity is to understand your responsibility as a parent when it comes to meals and meal times. Ellen Satter is a registered dietitian and family therapist, and she pioneered this concept of division of responsibility when it comes to meals and meal times. I first heard about her from a pediatrician who I was actually giving a cooking lesson to, and she told me that she really wished she had known about Satter's philosophy when she was raising her kids. But now she just passes on this wisdom to all of her patients' parents. So the division of responsibility goes: parents are responsible for the what, when, and where of feeding. Children are responsible for the how much and whether of eating. Mostly this is about providing structure. Your job as a parent is to provide balanced meals at regular times at a set location, like your dining table. If you provide the structure, your child will soon understand that this is their opportunity to eat, and their responsibility is to decide what and how much they'll eat. If they don't eat anything, they'll have to wait until the next designated mealtime. This concept sounds simple, but I know it can be really challenging to implement and stick to because every parent wants to see their kids fed and nurtured. It's in your natural instinct. But just like you were so tough during the sleep training phase, even though letting your baby cry made you want to cry, I know you can do the same and stick to your guns at meal times. Kids often snack in between meal times, but if they know that they're not going to get a snack and have to wait until dinner to get a real meal, they're much more likely to eat all the vegetables or eat everything that you offer them. And it's not that snacking is bad, but you just need to provide the same structure for snacking. If kids know that they're going to get a snack at a certain time and that's the only time they'll get a snack, it's much better than if you're offering them snacks at any point of the day when you think that they're going to be a little bit fussy or a little bit upset. Plus, when you provide structure, it takes away all the negotiation and bribery, which actually provides the foundation for kids to develop a better relationship with food. And hopefully, once you adopt this new mindset shift, you can let go of any guilt you feel because you're being an amazing parent and fighting the good fight every day. I know all this is so easy for me to say as a non-parent, but I'm cheering for you, and I'm just really impressed with everything that parents do for their children. You all are just amazing, and I have no idea how you do it. Okay, so now if you want to read more about this concept, visit ellensatterinstitute.org. We'll also link to it below. And Karen LeBillon, who we got to interview last week about her book, Getting to Yum, which you should definitely get, also provides some really great ideas about making this structure work for your family. She actually adds one thing to Satter's division of responsibility rules, which is that your kids don't have to eat the foods they don't like, but they have to at least taste it, which means that it counts as an exposure and they get to put a sticker on their chart. So I know that was a lot of information, but to recap our tips on managing your kids through picky eating and keeping your sanity at the same time, there are 3 things we think you have to try. 1, don't let your kids' nose discourage you and continue to expose them to healthy ingredients. Remember to print out our table and use it to make this process fun and trackable. 2, listen to Mary Poppins and use a spoonful of whatever tastes good to your kids to help the healthy vegetable medicine go down. And 3, shift your mindset to embrace the fact that you're responsible for the what, when, and where of meals, and it's not your responsibility to coerce your child into eating it. That's up to them. So we'd love to hear about your challenges and your success stories when it comes to picky eating. If you're watching this on Vimeo or YouTube, please feel free to leave it as a comment below. As always, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you think we're creating really great cooking information, please help us spread the word by sharing it on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And if you want even more great cooking info to help you live smarter in the kitchen, get over to cooksmarts.com/newsletter and sign up for our weekly newsletter. We also provide 3 free meal plans to anyone that wants to taste test our meal plan service. There's no payment info needed, and you get 12 meals that each have a gluten-free, paleo, or vegetarian option. You can find that at cooksmarts.com/meal plans. All right, thanks again for watching. I so appreciate your time. At CookSmarts, we believe that everyone can become a kitchen hero. We can't wait to help you get there because a happier and healthier life is waiting for you.